Seems like the beginning of these videos are often getting cut off, so I want to make sure that no key information is lost at the beginning here because I don't have time to edit these things. So, this video is all about altcoins and how they can be traded against BTC, Bitcoin. Welcome back to the Bitcoin Traders Collective. This is the second video in the educational series. We'll kind of tie it back into the 4 stages of the market cycle that we went through in the last video. So this is an older chart for a coin called Dash, and if you were around back in 2017, 2016, you remember this project. It was majorly hyped. One of the biggest moving altcoin projects of that market cycle for sure. AKA Dark Coin, it used to be called. It was one of the early privacy coins. Digital cash was their big hustle. So yeah, Dash, this is the Dash Bitcoin chart. So this is the price movement basically of the lifetime of Dash against Bitcoin. And so it's really good to, when you're looking at altcoins, to look at their Bitcoin valuation, even though a lot of them are available now on exchanges as USD pairs. Really, the pros and the OGs in crypto know that the most money to be made is to be made trading altcoins against the Bitcoin chart. Or in other words, trading the altcoins with the sole goal to accumulate more BTC. So this chart of Dash, you need to get really used to this pattern. If you zoom out on the life cycle of many altcoins from back in the day, this is what you see. You see an accumulation range, like we talked about in our market cycles video. You see a massive parabolic top, the markup period. And in altcoins, the markup happens even quicker and more sharply and more exaggerated and with higher percentage gains. And then you've got the distribution, period of time where you had a chance to get out at pretty high levels. Then you have the massive markdowns, bear market, and then at the end you've got another accumulation phase, which is where we are right now with this old project Dash. So the thing about altcoins, though, that you have to know is that some of them will never come back and repeat the cycle. Dash was a big enough project that it'll probably get pumped again. But a lot of projects, once they go through this accumulation, markup, distribution, and markdown, they're done. There's a lot of scams in the space. And even if it's not a scam, sometimes just projects lose life, the community dies, and the hype is gone, new and better things come along, and it's just over. So it's really important, if you're going to get into altcoins and use them as a way to amplify your Bitcoin returns, it's really important to understand these market cycles and to know when to get out. And unlike Bitcoin, it's more even dangerous to buy these parabolic hype tops when the FOMO is kicking in so hard, when the hype's kicking in hard on a project. Because if you buy the top on one of these and then you get into the markdown and it's a project that doesn't have long-term value, then your money's pretty much gone. And a lot of people have gotten wrecked on altcoins like this. Bitcoin's different. You can buy a parabolic top. You could have bought at $20,000 in 2017, and right now you're back at break even 3 years later. And so Bitcoin is more forgiving on that level because it's got the fundamentals and it's the original crypto. But that's not always the case with altcoins. So anyway, that's our market cycles in terms of altcoins. Now, I want to show you why it can be so extremely profitable to trade altcoins, especially in a bull market on the Bitcoin chart. So looking at Dash here, we can use our percentage tool. If you had bought anywhere in this accumulation range from 2014 to early 2017, let's say you bought here and you rode that wave as Bitcoin was breaking all-time highs, and you were smart enough to sell somewhere near the parabolic top, then you had 1,000% gain against Bitcoin, and that's basically an 11x. So if you'd thrown one Bitcoin on Dash and then you sold near the top, after that you'd have 11 Bitcoins. And so this peak happened at the peak of this alt season in 2017 for Dash. That peak was in mid-March, and the price of Bitcoin was still only around $3,000. So not only could you have transformed your one Bitcoin into 11 Bitcoins, then if you had ridden the rest of the Bitcoin cycle out at that point, I think it was about another 7x. So 11 times 7, whatever that is, over 70 Bitcoins you could have accumulated if you played that perfectly. Now, obviously, you're never going to call the bottoms and the tops, but the idea that you can take one or a few Bitcoins and multiply them on that level is really the power of the altcoin markets. So Dash is not the only example of that. There were many other projects that had even bigger moves. Ripple, Ethereum, Zcash, Stratus, I think. Strat was actually probably the biggest gainer of that cycle. I could have used that as the example. But you get the idea. So even before we had the parabolic top on Dash, during the bear market of 2014 and 2015, you had all of these mini cycles. So even when Bitcoin was not really doing a lot, you could have been making incredible gains, multiplying your Bitcoin. You had this little accumulation on Dash right here in the end of 2014. You had a big move, 326% move, so you could have 4x'd your Bitcoin, turned one Bitcoin into 4. You had another accumulation here after this markdown, and we'll call this another cycle of 400%, another 5x. Could have transformed one Bitcoin into 5 BTC. And then the one I just showed you where we had this final accumulation into the really huge parabolic move. So this is an example over larger time frames, how if you're able to identify the market cycles and get in these altcoins when they're really low in an accumulation, you can really compound your growth of your account. And compound growth is one of the magical things of the universe, and in nature, compound growth it's really the pattern of nature, exponential growth. And so these patterns play out just as they do in nature, they play out in these markets. So I hope this helps. You do need to understand that altcoins are very risky, and this is an intro video, and you do need to understand what you're doing if you're going to jump into this terrain. All right, thanks a lot.